Welcome back everyone to the complete Pineleaf. It is now time for us to have another foray into this area. This time we are to go to the right, I believe, instead of to the center or the left. Defeat whites in the Eastern Valley. Actually, since we're not going to be going down this time, I would think that Eastern Valley might be a little bit off in what it means there, but I suppose the surrounding hills are a little bit higher than where I am at right now. So I suppose we could let the word valley pass there. Besides, these things are counting. Let's go up to here then, because I think this is where we need to go in order to scatter some ashes and also to defeat whites. And we'll have plenty of those as we are going through here. Where are we? Yeah. I think we have to go all the way through here like this. Actually, we are at the... I think this is where we need to go because I think that's the bone quarry right there. Oh, hey there! Now, actually, if this were D&D, I'd have a lot of trouble against these guys because in D&D, spears aren't exactly the most effective things against skeletons. Which I can understand why, because... Well, actually, if you were... Actually, I'll take that back. Because I will say someone practiced... They never show it in this way because it's sort of moot in this game, but I would think that a good skilled spear practitioner would know how to... Well, there's Meyer for when I finish this quest. Would also know how to use the shaft effectively, sort of as if it were a staff. If you had something that wouldn't be hurt by it. I mean, especially if you're going around fighting things like skeletons and the like, you'll just probably... Question is, how effective is a single-handed spear? Because trouble is, if you're using a spear as a using staff technique, it probably would work a lot better if it were two-handed instead of a single hand. I probably should have done some selling while I was over there at the camp because it looks like my inventory is getting a little bit on the full side. Something I'll need to remember next time I'm back in camp. Probably sell off a few things. There's also the matter of task boards, because the task boards, the trouble with the task board here is that every single task board sends you to Galtrev. I was hoping they would have fixed that when they opened this up with the legendary server, because it's really annoying that you have to come all the way to Galtrev in order to do it, and it's a bit inconvenient in having to do that all the time. I think I could go back to Meyer here now. Which means you might as well not pick up the task at the other locations because you can't turn them in there. You have to go all the way to Galtrev's. In fact, it's probably easier for me to go to the housing area and turn it in there. Always weird you can do that at the housing area now, but that's another matter. Hello, I've managed to scatter the ashes for you.
I have not seen your kind before.
The ashes you spread should prevent more of these abominations emerging from the cairns. Thank you, Devoniad. And I also killed the whites. Yes.
Greetings. Will you
Th-
remain here long?
Thank you for sending these abominations to oblivion. The evil they spread represent cannot be tolerated in these sacred lands. Right. That looks very familiar. Oh, that's right. I won't be able to pick any of that up, right? Do I have a... Well, that's a warden spear. What? I can't... Oh, I don't need a runekeeper stone, do I? Alright, just take that and be done with it. Guess what? There is a quest item inside. There's almost definitely a quest item inside of my... No, there isn't. I missed something. There is probably a clicky around here. Right, a clicky. I think there's a clicky quest, an urn or something like that I'm supposed to find. Aha! Crushed vessel, that's what it is. Now, if you hadn't done this quest before, you might not know that. The remnants of the ancient vessel before you are inscribed with crude runes. Perhaps you should deliver the remnants to Meyer. Okay. So you could get really, really confused if you hadn't done this quest before. Well, I need to kill... This says I need to kill 100 of them, and inevitably that means I'm going to be needing to kill another 200 after doing that. Oh, yippee-doo-dah. So I might as well start on that deed now, on my way back, and not worry about bypassing things too much. Yeah, she's up just ahead of me. Just want to make sure I didn't pass her. There you go. Ah, there she is.
You're welcome here, as long as you don't trouble us.
These pieces appear to be from an ancient urn of my people. These remnants speak of a place to capture the darkness that whispers to others. I wonder what that means. Alright, she doesn't know either. But it looks like now she is full of questions.
Hear me out, Duvodiad, for I have a tale to tell.
Excuse me, there seems to be an annoying white here. Yeah. There you go. Now we got that done. Now, what were you saying? Yes, I think the message upon the vessel may explain what has happened here. Perhaps in ancient days a great evil was captured and bound to this place. Unfortunately, it would appear that the Divlig have fallen prey to that evil. If you would, bring news of the message upon the urn to Naglok. Perhaps he will know better than what it means. The ranger camp is to the west of here. Yes, I think I know where the ranger camp is. So I will head there right away, but I think I'm going to go there via Galtreb because I need to sell some stuff. I managed to offload several tasks, and while I was at Galtreb, I identified some allies. It appears that about a third of the allies that dropped were actually for a warden, which is a pretty good ratio. And of those, 3 of the 4 were spears, which of course are my favorites to use. Now, what I noticed though is that because I have pumped my current spear up to level 70 and that it has 3 starlight crystals on it, the one that I have isn't an upgrade yet. I'll probably have to wait till I'm about it's around level 60 or 69 for the LI base value before I'm going to get a decent thing in there. But I was thinking about the cosmetics of it, because if I look at my equipment, you'll see this thing with the knob here. Not exactly what I call a pretty spear there. Now, my cosmetic one is looking like this, which is the Bone Man Spear. But this new spear looks like, I think I really like that spear. I think I'm going to use that as my new cosmetic look for my spear, even if I never use it as an actual weapon. But I think it's time for us to actually talk about our current quest. Hello there, I'm back. Let's get rid of that.
Your aid is welcome, friend.
This vessel appears to be similar in nature to the one in an old story which was told by an ally of ours in the Lich Bluffs. It is said that a vessel of this nature was sighted many years ago in the possession of a clan Brenin, who planned to betray his host in a most foul manner. It is said that it influenced his actions and caused the destruction of his people, for they were branded Oathbreakers. For that, they're branded Oathbreakers. I fear that the Diavlig are the descendants of the Oathbreakers, and that their Brenin, Treherne, has fallen under the same influence as his ancestor. Speak with Hluku at her camp to the west. She is Treherne's daughter, and may actually know more. Very well, I shall speak with the daughter and find out what's going on, right? Probably not. I have found Hluku's hut.
I have heard the wails of the Kufral in the night.
Ah, Pineleaf! Thank you for rescuing me from the thing that my father has become. I believe the ranger may be right. Several moons ago, in the depths of his anger, my father must have been preyed upon by the foul spirit of his legend. It pains me to know that my father has not learned from what happened in ages past. My hope is that I can rally my people from his influence, and that we may depart from this place. Perhaps we may yet reclaim our clan name of old, and divest ourselves of the name Diavlig. Good luck in that! So what do you need me to do? Many things, apparently.
The old woman of the mountain says we should not trust Vodiad.
Yes, most likely it's the old woman in the mountain who's responsible for your father's problems. Yes, from this vantage point, I can see new standards flying in the valley below. These standards seem to indicate that my father may be seeking new allies to renew his fight. Will you go down to Hlanbach and tear down these standards? That perhaps will embolden the people against my father's tyranny. Very well. Tear down the banners. Got it?
The Tuchluth have been destroyed. I pray to the Uchwirat that we will not be next.
In the village below, Hlanbach, there are two influential elders that guide the people. These folks have been pressed into assisting my father and his men against their will. Will you speak with the elders, Nia and Paru, and see if they would be willing to put aside the fouling of our ancestors? Travel south to the path, and you will eventually come to the gate of Hlanbach. Alright, and finally,
The old woman of the mountain says we shall not trust Vodiad.
I'm sure she said it on several occasions. My father had sent many of his brutal men to Hlanbach to quell the murmurs of the rebellion. These men are the worst of our people, and they support my father's actions and must not go unpunished. Will you help to put an end to this tyranny my father's men in Hlanbach? If so, return to the village and dispatch the overseers and warriors. So, I have a feeling I need to go to Hlanbach. And that is down here. To the Hlanbach. There you go. Well, I was waiting to go after the sentry, but apparently we've got other things to worry about. Such as Diavlig pew-pews. You go down first? Well, you went down a little bit faster than I was calculating, but alright, I guess I'll take that. And now this away. I think there's a good time to turn on the tortoise stone because, oopsie daisy. I certainly don't think I'm any danger right now of not being able to get to enough XP when I'm in the level 67 area. Oh, ambusher! Woohoo! Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky! Oh, and she is guarding Paru.
The Ukwirod requires us to give welcome to Devodiad.
I have a feeling I know who's been putting that into your mind. In the past, Treherne Benin was able to rally our people to retake what was our birthright. But then the warriors abandoned us. I fear what has happened to our once great leader. Well, there is that. Oh, we'll take care of you first. Well, that was a slight miscalculation there. Well, we don't have anything specific for overseers, but they do count as DLV again. I think that will be good enough for our purposes. We'll get through her, and then once we do that, we can go after the second standard. Then I have to look for the other person that needs inspiring. And that's 6. We should have plenty of those by the time we're out of here. And of course, slowly whittle our way towards the... Oh, there. In fact, we've got both of the items we need right over there, as well as 2 enemies. I think this is a pretty good finding here.
Sleep often escapes me, for the night shadows bring fear.
In the past, we had always served Treherne Benin without fail. His rule was difficult, but just. However, he now views our people as cattle and presses us into service of these evil men. We cannot openly fight against his might, but would assist those who would oppose him. Yes. Okay, there you go. And it looks like this overseer has decided to volunteer to be number 8. Wow. How many of these do I need? I need a huge number. I'm already in the advanced deed. And I'm going to run to plenty of these people because there are places later on where I'm going to be running into the Dragon Clan and all that. So I think this is one deed that I don't have to go out of my way to kill extras in order to complete it. Now let's see what I have. I have everything done, which means I can head back upstairs and turn in these quests. I have done what you asked. I took care of the banners.
Evil things stare in the night.
With these banners removed from the village below, we have sent a clear message to my father's forces. Their tyranny shall not be tolerated. Right. And I inspired hope.
Evil things stir in the night.
A tin necklace of the strong arm. I just never thought of tin as being a typical... I don't think I've got one of these yet. Alright, we'll take it for cosmetic reasons. I should have known that my father was doing this, but he kept his plans from me. I am glad that the elders of Hlanbach will stand with me against the monster my father has become. And finally, we took care of the overseers. Well, looks like that any of them counted, not just the overseers.
I have heard the wails of the Kuthraul in the night.
With the overseers deposed from the village below, we have sent a clear message to my father's forces. Yes, we have, and I'm going to assume that this is... Oh, wait a minute. Why am I still wearing a ring from... from Fort Hell? Oh, boy! Oh. Yeah. Yeah. excuse me while I change this out. Thank you. I don't need a Bjorning item in here. See, now I'm getting all these allies that I don't need now. Which I think is fitting considering the getting in that earlier part, getting so many that were useful for a warden, even if they were a little below the level I need. But anyway, I did get a good one for cosmetic reasons. Now, what do you need me to do next?
Do not speak the names of evil things, for you will call them.
My father has many sentries that patrol the outskirts of Hlan Goleth below. These sentries are among the most trusted of his men, and they have been responsible for the defiling of the cairns. Will you seek out these sentries and drive them away from the encampment? Will do. And
The old woman of the mountain says we shall not trust Duvoriad.
among the scattered homes below, my father's men have stolen supplies and food. The food was taken from the soldiers, leaving the people of Lanbach with little to sustain themselves. Unfortunately, my father had the food taken to Goleth, which lies to the road to the north. Will you go there and recover it? Returning the provender to its rightful owners will go a long way to convincing the folk of Lanbach to take up arms against my father. Righto, then we shall head on down there, which I think is down Gishaway. Yes, this village down here. But that's where we are going to be for our next episode of The Complete Pineleaf.